This is Yo Javi. I'm making this video because a lot of traders get stuck not in learning a strategy, not in actually knowing how to trade. They get stuck in this part of risk management. I say risk management, even though, yes, the topic is, the formula for passing a profit challenge, but in reality, this is all about risk management. So I have a formula that I use that I'm going to share with you because I want you to pass your challenge. Now, I'm going to talk to you about me right now. Why am I going to talk to you about me? Because you don't know me, right? And you're going to ask yourself, why should I be listening to this guy, this random guy on YouTube, this random guy on the internet? What are his credentials? Well, listen, first of all, I am somebody just like you. I'm a trader. I'm definitely somebody that's striving to achieve something with trading. Somebody that wants more out of life. I got into Forex in the summer of 2023, right? I locked in on that summer. I found Doyle Exchange on YouTube. I got into his Discord. I started learning the supply and demand strategy from Doyle. I locked in. Like when I tell you that I locked in, I just went hard. I just went hard on his content, on his webinars, on everything that he had on that Discord. I ate it up. When I'm telling you, like every day I was watching the videos, practicing, doing the homework. I did that. I did all of that. So it got to the point where I felt confident trading. And at this point, I was trading Forex. But at the beginning of this year, of 2024, we had all of these changes in regulations. I had to learn futures. So by March, I already knew like all of the basics, all of the lingo. So I was able to start trading futures. The strategy was the same. Thank God. Like I was able to just trade supply and demand, but on the future side. So I didn't have to like learn a whole new strategy, which is what I was worried about. Now, since I didn't have to learn a new strategy and I could just learn futures, I did that. Everybody on the Discord did that at that time. So we transitioned into futures, and I went for my first funded challenge, my first profit challenge. I passed it within like 2 weeks. I passed that. And it was because I had this formula. Now, this was not from the Discord. Everybody, at least in that Discord, everybody had to figure it out for themselves. And I think that was the hardest part for mostly not every trader, but for a lot of traders, that is the hard part. Like, how am I going to risk my account in a way that I could pass this challenge? Now, I will talk to you about that. But before I do that, I will let you know I am no longer trading for a prop firm. I'm not doing that anymore. I ditched that path. And long story short, that's mainly because I don't like all of the rules, all of the obstacles that they put for you in order to be able to get a payout. I'm not pursuing that. Now, that doesn't mean I don't believe in the model. It's just not something that I want to do. I transitioned, or I pivoted into building my own live account, and I just like that more because if I earn $10, that's $10 I could withdraw, right? And I'm just saying that small number just to make a point. But that doesn't mean, like I said, that the proper model doesn't work. It's not for everybody and it's not for me. But I did pass a challenge, and I want to share my experience with you because you might be going for a challenge. Maybe that works for your situation and that's what you want to do. I will give you what worked for me. The main thing is because this formula is about profitability, right? It's all about being profitable. That's what it's focused on. It's focused on making you profitable. So being profitable works whether you're in a prop firm account or in a live account. So no matter what, the formula, it works for both types of accounts for that reason, because it's focused on making you profitable. You cannot be profitable unless you are making more than you are losing. You cannot be profitable unless you are making more than you're losing. Make more than you lose. That's it. Now, that's not the formula. I will give you the formula, but that's the core principle of my formula. in my mind, when I went for this challenge, I just knew I just have to make more than I'm losing. There are different ways to do that. There are different ways to do that. A lot of people like going for huge, like, risk to reward ratios, and they think that that's the way. But when you try to go for like this large risk to reward ratio type of trades, yes, if you hit it, you can make more. But how likely is it that your trade is going to go up that far? Or down if you're selling? That probability goes down. So there has to be a balance. Now, with that being said, I will give you my formula as to how I did it. But the main thing I really want you to take is the mindset behind it, because you could tweak it in a way that it works for you. Maybe you just like one piece of my formula, but then you see it different in a different way. That's perfectly fine. I actually want you to make it fit for you. So let's just get to it. Well, I gotta take it a step back before I give you the formula. You have to understand you are trading a prop firm account, so they have rules. They have these profit targets that you have to hit, and you have the maximum loss limit that they have, like the drawdown. So you have to pick an offer that makes sense. I thought that a large account was just the better option, because if you have more money, you can make more. I didn't realize that this profit target right here, this $9,000, that's not that easy to hit. It's really not. And now the problem is really not even the profit target. It's the fact that the maximum loss limit doesn't go up much from the first offer. That's really the key here. Look at this. On the first offer, on a 50K account for this company, the profit target is $3,000. The maximum loss limit is $2,000. Now, when you go for the second account, $100,000, the profit target doubles, right? It doubles, but they're only giving you another $1,000 for the maximum loss limit. They're not doubling this maximum loss limit. You're not going from 2,000 to 4,000. And this is the subtlety that a lot of new traders don't notice. They're only giving us $1,000 more, but I have to make double what I have to make on this first account, on this 50K. Now, when we go from the 100K account to 150,000, now the profit target is $9,000. But look at this. The maximum loss limit is going from 3,000 to 4,500. So they only gave you 1,500 more. And this is really what you have, is really this amount right here, the 2,000, the 3,000, and 4,500. This is how much money you have to trade with. Like, this is it. You don't have $150,000 that you're trading, or 100,000 or 50,000. No, it's this amount right here, 2,000, 3,000, and 4,500, at least for this example. So look at this, from 3,000 to 9,000, you gotta multiply this profit target times 3. So it's triple the effort to hit this profit target than if you just go for the 50K account. And that's key. You have to know this. Like, it's a lot harder to hit $9,000 than hitting $3,000. It's gonna take triple the work, but you're not getting triple the maximum loss limit. It's not like you're getting $6,000 here. You see what I'm saying? You don't have a maximum loss limit of $6,000 to hit 9,000. It's a lot harder to make this happen, and it's gonna require a lot more patience. And mind you, when you're trading, you're not going to win every trade. It's just not gonna happen. Now, this is really where they get you. Look at this. And this is not, when I say where they get you, I'm not saying that it's a scam. I'm just saying that this is where they make their money. Look at this. On $150,000, you have to pay $149 a month. On this first account, on the 50,000, you're only paying 49. So here on the last account, 150K, you're paying a whole $100 more a month. And you got to ask yourself, how likely is it that I'm going to pass this $150,000 account in 1 month? I can't answer that. But you're more likely to have to pay this $150, because you're probably not going to pass this that quick. And remember, they have rules to make sure that you're not just gambling. So really, my point with this whole section here is, you have to pay attention to the max loss versus the profit target. It's a lot easier to go for a 50K account because the profit target is only $3,000 and you have a decent amount of the maximum loss right here. That's a good amount to hit the 3,000. Think about that. Just think about it. Think about what account you're going to go for, because now this is really where I'm going to get into my formula. This is the formula. This is the first part of the formula, and this formula has three parts. The first part is the risk amount. So the risk amount formula equals the max loss limit divided. This is what I do. This is the part that you could tweak to however you want. I divide that max loss limit. So if it's $2,000, I divide that $2,000 by the amount of trades that I want to take before blowing the account. So that's this before blowing the account, the BTA. Trading is all probabilities. So the only thing that you know for sure, you're probably going to lose trades. You're going to lose money. If you know that and you accept that, you got to ask yourself, or this is what I did. I asked myself, how many opportunities do I want to give myself to pass this challenge or pass it before blowing the account? And I told myself, I want to give myself 7 chances, and it's pretty much 7 chances to blow the account, because that's the only thing that you could count on. You could count on the fact that you could probably blow this account. You could divide that into however many trades you want to take before blowing the account. That could be, let's say, if it's 4 trades, then you're going to divide that $2,000 divided by 4. Let's say you want to do it in 10 trades, then you got to divide that 2,000 by 10 trades, and whatever that amount is, that's going to be the amount in dollars. And actually, let me put it right here. That will be the amount to risk, the dollar amount to risk. So here we have an example. Again, the $2,000 max loss divided in 7 trades. That means that I could risk $285 per trade. If I lose all 7 trades, the account is blown. That's what this means. Every trade, I'm gonna risk up to $285. Now ask yourself, what is the probability that you will lose every single trade? It's not a high probability that you're gonna lose every trade. And that's really what this formula that I have, that's really what it focuses on. It focuses on how many chances are you giving yourself to blow this account. I know that sounds crazy, but you got to think about the risk, because that's the only thing that you control. Once you go into the market, once you place a trade, you cannot control if it's going to go up or down, but you can control how much you're willing to lose per trade. I hope that's making sense. If something doesn't make sense to you, leave a comment. You can start there. Leave a comment. I will answer every comment. Now, do not worry about the profits yet. Do not worry about that target profit just yet. Why? Because we're only focused on the risk. We're focused on the downside. We're focused on what we can control. We're focused on the worst case scenario. Now, best case scenario, let's say one of your trades, your first one, let's talk about your first one. Your first trade starts going up and up and up, and it goes for like a 102, 103. Obviously, you're winning. And let's just say in theory, it just went up so high that you hit that 3,000 profit target. Technically, in one trade, you could hit the profit target. Again, listen to this. This is why I say do not worry about the profits yet, because if you worry about the downside, if you worry about just protecting the downside, the upside alone, like literally 1-2 trades could get you to pass the challenge. And that's key. I need you to understand that as long as you're just protecting yourself, the upside is gonna take care of its own. Think about it this way. It's like a boxing match. It's like if you're protecting yourself from getting hit, you're blocking, you're making sure you don't get hit, hard on the jaw or something like that. If you're making sure you're not getting hit, the one punch that you throw, it could knock your opponent out. Now, part 2 and part 3 is what to do when you're winning and what to do when you're losing. Now, this part right here is not really a mathematical formula. This is more of an algorithm. This right here is trade management. How are you managing your trade? Now, I'm a scalper. So keep that in mind. As a scalper, it is my belief that you have to manage your trade. If you want to be able to become profitable, trade management is a must. This is how I manage my trade when I'm winning. So that's the part two of the formula. When I'm winning, how do I manage my trade? Well, number one, my first target, it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. When I hit a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, I close 90% of my position. If we're looking at this tool, let's put it at 1-to-1. So you see risk to reward ratio 1. So let's just say that the trade, it hit it right here, the take profit. Once it does that, I'm closing 90% of my position. That's step number one. I close 90% of my position at 1-to-1, and then I leave the other 10% running. This is called a runner. Whatever you don't close becomes a runner. Let's say if I risk $100, once we go all the way down here and we hit the take profit, I'm gonna close $90. I'm just talking in money. I'm not talking in contracts like futures, just in general. I'm closing $90 of my position and I'm leaving $10 as a runner. Once I leave that runner, I'm gonna bring my stop loss. I'm gonna bring it a little bit above break even. You want to bring your stop loss. Let's just say that this was the stop loss. I'm bringing it in like above break even. I'm bringing it into profit. Now, why am I not leaving it? And this is me. You could do it however you want, but I mean, you could bring it here, but I want to make sure personally that if the market comes back and it hits my stop loss, I want to make sure that I'm in profit. You know, when they take out commissions and all of that, I want to make sure that I was in profit. That's why I bring it, and I don't have a specific number. I just bring it, a little bit into profit, and that's it. We don't want to just keep moving it right away because you want to let the trade breathe, give it space. Because what I have done in the past, which this is why I'm saying this, I will bring the stop loss like real close to where the price was, and then the market will come down just a little bit, hit my stop loss, and then like shoot off and just go all the way to like a 102, 103, and I would just be mad because I was like, damn, like why did I have my stop loss that close? Let it breathe. Just let it breathe. If you get stopped out, you're gonna be stopped out in profit, and that's all you want to do, right? As long as you're in profit, it's okay. Just let it breathe. This is how we're going to trail the stop loss. We're gonna trail it at each new risk to reward level. Let's say this is the runner now. Now we're talking about the runner. Now the runner is targeting a 1-to-2, right? Now, when the runner hits this 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, we want to bring the stop loss to 1-to-1. That was the key for me to pass my platform challenge. It was that trade management. How was I managing my trade? When I was winning, that's what I was doing. You could pause this video, practice it. You don't have to watch this video in one sitting. I would definitely say practice that. If there's anything that you didn't understand, please reach out to me. I got you. I want you to win. What do we do when we're losing? Number one, you want to trade with a stop loss. Definitely put that stop loss. You don't want to lose more than the amount that you were willing to lose originally. The second part, you're going to have losing trades. You're going to lose. When you see yourself losing, don't panic. Yes, you're not gonna like it. You know that. But don't panic. What I was doing is the following. I already had this in mind. If the trade went about 50% into drawdown, that's when I started paying attention, getting ready to close. That doesn't mean I close at 50% because I'm looking at each candle at what it's doing. I'm looking at the momentum that the market is moving with. But at 50%, I'm already like The market has my attention. The only thing I could control as a trader is what I do, how I enter the market and how I exit. So when I'm losing, it's just I gotta pay attention as to how I'm going to exit the trade. I know that it could hit my stop loss, and we just hit the maximum amount I was willing to lose for that trade. But if I could save some, I will. So at 50%, I'm already looking. I'm looking at it. Like, don't keep playing too much with me because we're gonna be closing soon if you keep playing. If the trade goes 80% into drawdown, at that point, I'm gonna make a decision. I'm still looking at the candles. This is not a perfect science. This is at your own discretion. It's hard because sometimes you could be in forex a pip away. In futures, it could be a tick away from hitting the stop loss, and sometimes it just reverses and it goes to TP. It's a risk. If you close the trade early, you're taking a risk that it might turn around. Accept it. Whatever you do, accept it. If you stay, accept that it might hit your stop loss. If you cut it, you have to accept that it may turn around and take profit. So at 80%, I'm already gonna be making a decision. I'm either going to stay in the trade or I'm going to close it. Usually for me, it's all about the momentum. If there is like strong momentum against me, against my trade, not against me, because the market is not against a person. If the trade is, if the candles are going hard, like against my trade, against my position, at 80%, I'm closing. That's what I'm doing. So at least I saved that 20%. I'm trying to cut my losses around that 80% mark. So like here, let's just say that it started off and it just automatically went all the way down here. At this point, this is about 50%. It has my attention. But let's just say that it does another like hard pull right here. It's almost at the 80% mark, but it's not there yet. And let's just say that it goes to like break even. At this point, let's just say it's at break even, but it doesn't go up anymore. And now it really pulls hard like this. At this point, when I see this, I'm closing. That's that momentum I'm talking about. And even though I only saved this little bit right here, that's still going to help me towards being profitable. Because on my next trade, I might win. And if I win, I did save some here. I'm Gucci. I'm good. So that's how I manage my trades when I'm losing. Nothing is guaranteed in trading, but I'm sharing with you an idea. It's food for thought. That's how you could look at this. Take this and make it your own. So let's just say that you took the 7 trades, you didn't blow the account, and you're in profit. For me, I rinsed and repeated this formula and the steps, the trade management steps, until I hit my target profit. Now, I did it in about 2 weeks. That doesn't mean that you will do it the same way. It's too many variables, too many factors. But that was my experience with this formula, with this way of trading, with this way of risking my account. And this is a bonus. Something else I did. When I am about 75% into hitting the profit or the target profit, what I do is I lower the percentage of the position that I close at 1 to 1. If let's say in the first like 6 trades, I got into profit and I'm about 75% into hitting my target profit for the challenge. If at first I was closing 90% of my position at 1 to 1, the rest of my trades, now that I'm 75% into the target profit, now I may only close at 1 to 1, I may only close like 60% of my position. Like I just get more aggressive about it. I may close even only 50% of my position. Of course, that carries more risk, but think about it. If you're only like closing 30% of your position and you also brought your stop loss into profit, even when the market goes back and it hits it, you're still in profit. Some final words. Take your time watching this video. Send me, like, if you have any questions, contact me, look for me. I have all of the links or all of my links in the description. I have a Discord where we have other traders. You could stay locked in with us. The link, everything is in the description. I do have one-on-one sessions available. I'm not saying I know everything, but based on my experience, I could help you out. And if I can't help you, I'm gonna work with you to find the answer or find somebody that knows the answer, okay? So again, the link for that is in the description. We have 2025 coming up. Let's stay locked in the whole year. Let's lock in. Let's cut out all the distraction. Let's if you're working on a profit account, pass those challenges, get your payouts. If you're working on a live account, I'm telling you, just work your account how you want to work it. I have a plan for my live account and I'm going to stick to it. That's the thing. I'm locked in and I want you to be locked in.